For a bit, it seemed like Silent Hill F may have been banned in Australia, but now we have an update on that story. So, this is coming from GamesIndustry.biz. Quote, in a statement provided to independent game site Steviver, I believe you're supposed to say that, the entry for Silent Hill F published on March 14th, 2025 has since been removed. This referring to a list of games that were basically just going to be banned in Australia. Quote, Silent Hill F is not currently classified as refused classification in Australia, meaning it would have been banned, the Australian Classification Board said. The entry on the National Classification Database has been removed. A classification decision will be published to the National Classification Database ahead of the game's release. Sorry, a lot of big words there. Steviver notes that this entry may have been due to an error with a self-reporting tool used by the ACB. A spokesperson for the ACB clarified to GamesIndustry.biz that ratings generated by this tool, which is managed by the International Age Rating Coalition, are provided by the developer during the self-reporting process. As explained by IGN, this tool is a classification system designed for mobile and digitally delivered games. The IARC tool requires developers to complete an online questionnaire about the game, then the tool automatically provides a rating for participating territories. According to IGN, this rating is published automatically on the ACB's National Classification Database. End quote. So, there was a lot of controversy and a whole lot of news about, like, okay, Silent Hill F actually going to be banned in Australia. It would be a little crazy considering how many games have been allowed to release in Australia that seemingly would have pushed the bar a lot farther in terms of content. But thankfully, it does seem to just be an error on their end. I feel like when it comes to video games and movies and just art in general, there should be no such thing as censorship. I mean, obviously, if there's, like, hate speech inside of it, that's completely different. But outside of things like hate speech or, targeted attacks against certain groups of individuals, art should never be censored. And when I say targeted attacks against certain individuals, I'm not talking about woke media or anything like that. I'm just talking about, like, genuinely if somebody is trying to negatively and intentionally paint a certain group of people in a very bad light intentionally in a way that doesn't actually benefit the story, if that makes sense. Without delving too deep into the controversial, let's just talk about a game like Mafia 3. You still saw some of the lingering effects of racism in the game, but it's clear that the racism wasn't actually condoned by the developers and rather it was to serve the story. You get what I mean? Obviously, that doesn't pertain to Silent Hill F at all. There wasn't anything actually racist in the game. I'm just talking about very specific examples here, but in generally speaking, this just ties into what my overall point, that being, there shouldn't be censorship on games. There shouldn't be such thing as a ban for certain games and countries. It is art. Let art be art. And I don't want to go too deep into what I'm about to say, but if you're able to see some heinous adult content with a simple Google search, then why does it matter if there's some, well, what do you want to call it, controversial themes or content in a $70 video game that is clearly labeled and rated for adults? Doesn't make much sense.